to talk chapter 3, the second part, the state of the metals. We have already read the first part, the structure of metals. We are going to start from second part. First topic, molecular formula. We are going to through the definition. The compound or some common groups of elements that shows the number of atoms of each element or molecule which is in fixed ratio is called molecular formula. Example for one molecule of common salt contains one atom of sodium and one atom of chlorine. So the molecular formula of common salt, eating salt, is Na1Cl1 or simply written as NaCl. That is the final molecular formula of common salt is sodium chloride. Second, one molecule of ammonia contains one atom of nitrogen and three atoms of hydrogen. So its molecular formula is written as NH3. That is the ammonia. Next, molecular formula of chemical depends upon their three conditions that are given below. First, some common compounds. Example for hydrochloric acid, HCl, water, H2O, etc. Second, some common groups of the atoms or elements. Example, group carbonate, formula CO3, sulfate, SO4, etc. 3. Some compound with group. Example for compound formula sodium carbonate of the molecular formula Na2CO3. Second, copper sulfate CuSO4. Third, ammonium chloride NH4Cl. We are going to talk about atomicity. The number of atoms present in a molecule of an element is called atomicity. On the basis of atomicity, exist of the atom in element. There are two types of elements. First, monoatomic elements. Go through the definition. The atom of some elements can exist independently are called monoatomic elements. Example for helium, He, neon, Ne, argon, Ar, and etc. Note, their chemical formula is same as symbol, but in second condition, diatomic elements. The atom of many elements cannot exist independently in nature are called diatomic elements. Example for hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine, and etc. We go through this table in which there are different elements of atomicity, symbols as well. Formula is written one by one. We will read here. Helium, atomicity 1, symbol He, as well, formula is He. In this way, hydrogen 2, H, H2, oxygen 2, O, O2, nitrogen 2, N, N2, chlorine 2, Cl, Cl2, phosphorus 4, P, P4, sulfur 8, S, S8. Next, there is one question arise in our mind. Why do we study molecular formula of given compounds? Write with example. This question gives further information about the molecular formula or chemical formula of the chemicals, whatever we study here. We study molecular formula of the given compounds due to get further information as in given in step wise. Example for water H2O gives us following information. First, water made of two elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen, in a fixed ratio, that is 2:1, like other compounds. About get further information. Second, a molecule of water contains two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Thus, formula tells how many atoms of each element are present in the compound. Third, this is also help in represent the number of molecules which is present in the compound, like as 1.H2O represent one molecule of water. 4.H2O represent 4 molecules of water. 10.H2O represent 10 molecules of water. Etc. and so on. My dear student, let us talk about the valency. What is the valency? The way of denote means measure of the combining capacity of an elements or other hydrogen groups of elements. That group of atoms is called valency. Note 1. Say that some elements or groups of hydrogen atoms of elements can combine or gain electrons to become stable, and some are displaced, means lose number of electrons or atoms to become stable. In this number of the atoms gain or lose, that is the number of valency of elements as well as group of the hydrogen and other elements. When we are going to talk about example, the elements name and their valency. Hydrogen 1, lithium plus 1, boron plus 3. These elements of valency shows positive sign in their valency. In its means, the positive signs say that the outermost of their electrons that get loose to becomes get stability. Elements and valency. We are going to talk about nitrogen. There is -3 sign, oxygen -2, fluorine -1, so on. These elements of valency shows negative sign. It means they gain or combine the electrons, number of atoms become stable. Second, some elements, inert gas, do not combine at all or lose their atoms because they have stable according to duplet and octet rules. Some of the elements and their valency is given by here: helium 0, neon also 0, argon also 0, krypton also 0, xenon also 0. Note, it is also noted that in this condition valency is always 0 in case of second. Third, variables Valency. The certain element shows more than one valency. That is called variable valency. Example for some elements and their variable valency. Copper Cu 1 or 2, mercury Hg 1 or 2, iron Fe 2 or 3, sulfur S 2, 4 or 6, nitrogen N 3 or 5, and so on. We are going to talk about valency with symbol of common elements and groups are given in the following tables. The name of the groups or elements here one by one and their symbols and their valency. We start from hydrogen. Hydrogen symbol H, valency 1. Sodium in this way Na1. Potassium K1. Copper Cu 1 or 2. Mercury Hg 1 or 2. Chlorine Cl 1. Nitrate NO3 1. Calcium Ca2. So continue now. Iron Fe 2 or 3. Oxygen 2. Sulfur S2 4 or 6. Sulfate SO4 2. Carbonate CO3 2. Aluminum Al valency 3. Nitrogen N 3 or 5. Phosphate PO4 valency is 3. Carbon C4. Now in this way, when we are going to talking about how to write means make molecular formula of given compounds, there is one question here arise in our minds and we will give solution with the one by one step. We will discuss here one by one step. First step, write the symbol of the elements or group side by side and valency right on the top of the symbols. Example for chlorine Cl represent Cl at the top of corner 1 their valency. In this way, hydrogen H symbol, when you are going to write H at the top of corner 1, in this way write it. Second step, divide by the common factor in their valencies. H1 Cl1. Then finally in third step, interchange their valency while writing molecular formula with combined symbols down of their corners. That is here H1Cl1 represent HCl, that is the main molecular formula of hydrochloric acid. In this way, we have to make molecular formula of different compounds. Let us, student, we will discuss now chemical equation. What is the chemical equation? When we are going talking about it, the definition is come through in this way. The chemical reaction in which the reaction and the product are represented by symbol or formulae shown by simply equation from is called chemical equation. Note number 1 here is, in any chemical equation there are two sides, left hand side and right hand side, which is separated by between place sign, that is arrow called. Now the second note tell the left hand side of the chemical equation in reactants is reactants, whereas the right hand side of the chemical reaction is called product. Example 4. Fe means iron plus sulfur S as arrow represent, this is the reactant side and this is the, after the arrow, FeS iron sulfide represent the product side. Here is already clear that where Fe plus S represent reactant and FeS is the product. Now we are going to study about balance chemical equation. What is the balance chemical equation? When we are going to discussing, we will go through this definition, which is easier to learn. The chemical equation on which is unbalanced, that can be balanced by adding numbers of atoms both sides, is called balanced chemical equations. Some of the example is shown here. Some nitrogen react with hydrogen to gives ammonia. Here is N2 plus H2 represent by the arrow, and finally the product is released NH3, which is unbalanced chemical reaction. But when you are going to make the balanced chemical equation, we have to add in the reactant side, there were H2 at the place of H2 before, we have to add 3, and the product side we have to add in NH3 before 2. In this way, here is number of 2 atoms of nitrogen is reactant side as well product side 2. In this way, there is the 3 to the 6 hydrogen atoms, and there is also 3 to the 6 hydrogen atom also present in product side. As so on, here is continue the given examples. I hope that you have to help these videos part 1 and 2 related with structure of matters in study furthermore, and also may help to do exercise. I hope that you will be study more and watch this video, like, share and subscribe. Thank you for class.